Okay, so hello everyone and welcome to this exchange. The title of this exchange is rootAbility. It will last approximately an hour with 30 to 40 minutes of content and then allows time for questions at the end. Thank you for registering and thanks also to our speakers who will be introduced by Ragnar from rootAbility shortly. My name is Emma and I'm the Member Events and Communities Officer here at the EAUC. As you know, the EAUC delivered the Sustainability Exchange, which was initially a funded project from HEPKI and led by Staffordshire University. So what are exchanges? Exchanges are free lunchtime webinars on a range of sustainability topics. Anyone can present them. Just get in touch with us at sustainabilityexchange@eauc.org.uk or myself. Just a little bit of housekeeping to go over now. I'm hoping that everyone can hear okay. I have muted you all just to avoid background noise so that you can hear as clearly as possible. If you have any issues hearing at any point during this exchange, could you please use the chat box to send me a message saying so and I'll try and sort it out. Hopefully most of you will have working microphones. Don't worry if you don't, as you still have a chance to ask any questions at the end using the chat box. This webinar is being recorded so you can view it again or share it with colleagues or friends. It will be made available on the Sustainability Exchange with the presentations and any other resources later on today. And I'll send you all an email with the link to that so you can view it. As well as a link to the resources on recorded webinar, you'll also be sent a short survey to gain your feedback. Please take time to complete this as it helps us to improve any future webinars and exchanges. Okay, so that's all from me for now. Thank you. I hope you enjoy this webinar, and I'm going to pass you over to Ragnar from rootAbility.
Hi, welcome everyone to this webinar. I'm really happy to be here today from rootAbility. We've been initiating this with the EAUC, and I'm actually quite impressed how many people have joined, which is great. A little bit of background information about rootAbility. We are a social business that we founded after successfully establishing Maastricht University Green Office, and we are currently working in the topic of sustainability in higher education all over Europe. And to boost sustainability in higher education, we deliver all kinds of workshops and trainings for student unions, for student initiatives, but also for staff members of universities. We give talks and presentations at conferences and similar events, and we actively promoting the Green Office model, which has been adopted now by several other universities. And just a quick background information on this model, we think that students are really the resource or that can provide universities with an advantage when it comes to sustainability. If you give these students a mandate to manage sustainability, you give them the sufficient resources to do so, you integrate them into your administration, you integrate them within the university, you cooperate with them, so we work with different departments, with the students together, and of course you get training and networking and exchange just like we do today with students all over the world, or like today in Europe. The Green Office model has now been adopted by 4 other universities than Maastricht University. We have a Green Office in Wageningen, in the Netherlands, in Utrecht, and we have the present today the Greenwich Sustainability Hub and the Students Green Unit in Exeter. These sustainability units will present today. We'll have Priyanka from Maastricht University Green Office. She's the student coordinator there, and she'll tell us a little bit about the projects there and what's going on currently. And the same counts for Anna and for Caroline from the Sustainability Hub and from the Students Green Union, respectively. If you have any questions about rootAbility, you can just email me to ragnar.martens@rootability.com. I'll be happy to answer your questions. But now I think I would just hand over to the speakers for today, because that's why we're all here. Thank you.
Thank you, Ragnar, for the introduction.
My name is Priyanka, and I'm the Strategic Student Coordinator of Maastricht University Green Office. I joined the Green Office as a volunteer in September 2012, and then as a research coordinator in February last year. And then in the summer, I joined as a student coordinator. So it has been about 1.5 years since I got involved with the Green Office. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me after the presentation. So in today's presentation, I will go through our history, goals, structure, projects, the challenges we're encountering, and how we're addressing those, and how we aim to address it. So first, I will briefly explain how the Green Office started. So it was founded in September 2010 by a group of students and staff members who were passionate about sustainability, and their proposal was positively received by the management of the university. Before that, there were student groups and staff members interested in sustainability who worked on sustainability, but they did not have the power to directly influence the university's sustainability transition. So the Green Office was approved and was set up as the official university sustainability department, which is run by students and is supported by a full-time staff member, which is our environmental advisor. We are currently 9 students working on a part-time basis on a 14 hours a week contract. And each of the student project coordinators work with volunteers for their projects. In general, we have about 25 to 30 volunteers, but it depends on the project and the task and the type of task that we have. So based on that, we recruit the volunteers. We also receive a budget from the university, which is a part of the general and technical services budget. And we also report to twice a year to our supervisory board to talk about our projects and progress. And we also receive input from them. Since we are embedded within the university structure, but at the same time we're students, we can use this position to mobilize the community of students, academics, and staff members, and facilitate their efforts in the sustainability transformation of the university. So in order to do so, we have formulated our vision and our mission. So our vision is that Maastricht University will be a sustainable university where sustainability is inherent to all activities and processes, and Green Office will facilitate the cultural transformation of this community to reach the goal. And our mission is that we're responsible for managing the university's sustainability portfolio. So what we do is that we initiate and coordinate sustainability projects at Maastricht University by empowering students and staff members. To achieve the sustainability transition of the university, we work on different projects, which are organized into different portfolios, as you can see in the Green Office structure. So we have education, research, operations, community, and the organization into portfolios has been arranged to fully cover all the aspects that Maastricht University and the community use in the sustainability transformation of the university. The project coordinators of this portfolio are supported by student coordinator for administration and the student coordinator for strategy, which is me, who are basically in charge of the organization. And over here, you can see the current projects that we are running into different portfolios. So in education, we have the Green Academy, which helps to equip students with the skills and the know-how to further their sustainability initiatives. And then we have the course inventory, which is the sustainability courses for the whole university. So students can have access to it, the list of it. And then we have, which is a new project, the next one is the sustainability course, which is completely student-run. So we'll start that next month. And in research, we have the Journal for Sustainability Studies, which is a peer-reviewed academic journal for students to publish their paper. And we already published the first volume last year, and we're going to do one this year. And then we have the Living Lab, which aims to mobilize student research to support the university's sustainability transition. And we also have the knowledge exchange platform to create collaboration and dialogue among researchers. And then we have the thesis support. This is the support system that we have for students who are interested to write their thesis on sustainability. And in operations, we have 3 project coordinators. We have a bit more projects there. We have the green electricity transition. So at the moment, we're looking at the possibility to invest in wind energy with other Dutch universities collectively. And then we have the transportation project. So we aim to draw up a mobility policy for the university. A sustainability progress report, which depicts how the university is doing in terms of sustainability. The green catering project, to see if the university's catering is complying with the sustainability criteria. The display is to raise awareness of the university's ecological footprint by data visualization. And the last one is the implementation of PC power management to save energy on the desktop. And in community, we have the sustainability info market, so it's to get the student sustainability community together. And the monthly mingles is to get the volunteers of the Green Office together and talk about sustainability and the projects that we're doing. And then we have the behavioral change project, which is actually just in its initial phase. So we'll know more about it in the next month. And in order to know where we want to go and what kind of projects we take on, basically to structure our work, we use different policy documents. So we have our vision, which lays out the sustainability vision for the whole university and where we would want to be in the future. And then on the right-hand side, you can see the roadmap. So it is basically the path to achieve the vision. It breaks down the goals that we want to achieve into 5-year blocks. And after that, we have the sustainability policy, which is set every 2 years for the whole university. And it specifies the goals of the roadmap, but in 2-year blocks. And after that, we have the annual plan. So it's just the annual plan for the Green Office and its activities. And every year, we also produce an annual report. And we also have the sustainability progress every year. But I also mentioned that in the last slide, I think. Now coming to challenges and solutions. Like all organizations, we face challenges, and these are some of our current ones. So the first is continuity and knowledge transfer. Since we are students and we can only stay at the Green Office for a short period of time, our project needs to be
Hello everyone, this is Emma from the EAUC. I think we might have just lost Priyanka's sound there, but in the meantime, I think we'll carry on to Anna from Greenwich, her presentation, and then if we get a chance to, we'll come back to Priyanka later.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Anna. I'm the Sustainability Hub Coordinator at the Greenwich Sustainability Hub. Okay, so I'll explain a little bit about what the Sustainability Hub and why it was set up. So the reason that the Sustainability Hub was set up at Greenwich is because the University of Greenwich has been recognised as a leader in sustainability. So it continues to achieve first class in the People and Planet Green League. It's got a strong connection of networks, green champion networks embedded into every department running green impacts. So that's about 50 green champions. We've got numerous successful initiatives across the university, including a cycle hire scheme, community garden, etc. And we actually recently won the Times Higher Education Award in 2013 for the work in sustainable development. But one area that the university and the Students' Union saw that they could improve on was student engagement in sustainability. So as a London-based university spread across 3 campuses in Greenwich and Kent, with a high proportion of mature and overseas students, the university and the union had particular challenges in engaging students and keeping them engaged. So the Greenwich Sustainability Hub aims to basically address this issue, and it was established as a joint project between the Students' Union and the University of Greenwich, and its aim is to become a transformative sustainability project which creates huge positive environmental behaviours in Greenwich and also in the local community as well. So we were launched in November 2013. The hub is funded using the NUS Students Green Fund, and that's been used by about 20 other institutions across the country, and that's to fund it for the first 2 years, but we're building a long-term legacy plan so that the hub can continue after the funding. So in terms of goals for the sustainability unit, we've got a number of things that we hope to do by 2015. That includes employing 12 students as green ambassadors over the 2 years, having 120 volunteer hours registered across the student population, engaging 5,000 students in our projects and events and activities. We also hope to have 2,500 social media followers for the hub in the next 2 years, and also 1,000 students signed up to our regular sustainability e-letter. In terms of impact, what we want to achieve is Green Impact Bronze by 2015, 11 FE institutions engaged, and 3 hub colleges achieving Green Impact Bronze as well. So that's part of our outreach work. And also part of our outreach work is that we'll help 10 SMEs achieving green impact. So it's at least 10 SMEs. We also want to maintain first-class award in People and Planet Green League, and we want to make sure that the hub is integrated as part of the schemes that are already around, so the Greenwich Graduate and the school-based employability passport as well. So what we hope will come from that is that there's an increase in student-led sustainability initiatives, opportunities and campaigns across the university, an increase in pro-environmental actions and behaviours, and that our involved students are more employable. That's a big priority for the university at the minute. In terms of how the hub is structured, it operates in the Students' Union, but it's jointly managed by the union and the university. We also have an advisory group that consists of representatives from within the university, the union senior management team, student representatives including a sabbatical officer and a part-time officer, external representatives from the NUS and a partner college, and also a representative from the Royal Borough of Greenwich. The advisory group meet termly, and they're more like the strategic sounding board for the hub, and they receive all our NUS quarterly reports as required for the funding. We also have a steering group which is made up from staff from within the Students' Union and also the university, and we meet monthly to discuss more of the operational matters. Additionally, what we'll see, what will probably happen is that we'll have regular project group meetings consisting of representatives from the student body and also academic representatives. So as you can see also in the organisational chart, we have 6 green ambassadors employed this year. 1 is working on events and campaigns, 3 are working on the green impact work that we're running, and 2 are working on education and training, and each of them are responsible for recruiting and managing volunteers as well. Okay, so moving on to what projects let me talk a little bit more about the team. So as I mentioned, we've got 1 events and campaigns green ambassador, that's Essin, and the 3 green impact green ambassadors are Lauren, Judith and Gabriel, and we have Maria and Patrick who are doing the education and training work. Okay, so projects, starting with green impact. So what the 3 green impact green ambassadors will be working on is supporting 5 SMEs this year, and then next year there will be a further 5, in achieving green impact. They'll also support a further 3 colleges over the 2 years to achieve Green Impact Bronze, and they'll also assist the Students' Union in achieving Green Impact. So that's Bronze this year, and then Silver and Gold next year. We also have a Campaigns and Events Green Ambassador who is working on events for Fair Trade Fortnight, Green Week, and our Sustainability Show, which is an annual event, and our Sustainability Forums, which are run each term. And our Education and Training Green Ambassadors will be working to deliver workshops and training to 11 schools and colleges over the next 2 years. They're going to look at creating an online toolkit of resources which will assist schools and colleges and businesses in their own sustainability training. And additionally to that, we're also running a Grow at Home initiative where students are given small kits to grow herbs and chilies. We're looking to create an on-campus market where local produce from our community garden can be sold, as well as other local produce from the area and fair trade goods. And we're also operating a campaigns and project fund, which is a small fund of £10,000 over the next 2 years, where students can actually apply for a grant to run their own sustainability initiatives, really, and campaigns as well. Looking at the similar matrix to what the Green Office had on, as you can see, we're kind of more focused on the education and awareness side and the community side. So we've got fewer projects that are in the operations because actually that's where the university kind of they're strongest in, but one of our operations projects will be Green Impact for the Students' Union. In terms of challenges, okay, our location of the campus site is a massive challenge. We've got one in Kent and two in Greenwich. It's about 28-mile distance between the two. And because of the size of the university, we've got 22,000 students. It's massive. Students are commuting from all areas of London as well as from Kent as well. So that continues to be an issue in terms of engaging students. It's so spread out. And also student understanding of sustainability still continues to be an issue. There's a bit of a misunderstanding about what sustainability actually is. And I think a lot of people see it as purely on the environmental side and don't see it as very relevant to them. So it's kind of a bit of an education that needs to happen really around that. And we're starting to address some of those problems in the projects that we're running. So with our sustainability forums, which we run each term, that's kind of about educating students and getting them to see different sides of sustainability. And also we're trying to engage more of the societies, particularly those that wouldn't otherwise be engaged in sustainability, and getting more students to take ownership in running their own events, really. And we also want to try and integrate the hub within existing structures within the universities so that we're able to get more students getting involved. So things like the business school passport scheme where they have to log volunteer hours. That's a good way of getting them to actually take part. And also we're trying to integrate the sustainability show in the events management curriculum. Achievements so far. We've done our recruitment and training. We've got our final training session this Saturday. We had a launch in November. We have got one SME on the way to being signed up for Green Impact. We have been in talks with one college to deliver joint training sessions. And we've been in contact with two colleges who are almost ready to sign up for Green Impact as well. We've established a colleges network and we'll have our first meeting in a couple of weeks. We've run two sustainability forums, one on food and one on energy. And we've got a number of events planned for Green Week and for Fair Trade Fortnight, including a presentation from a fair trade wine producer. And our hopes for 2015, we want to see more student-led sustainability projects and campaigns. We want sustainability to be the norm, really, for more students to understand what it is and to see it as relevant to them. We want to inspire other unions with this model of our sustainability hub and our projects too. We want to see the hub's projects integrated in the curriculum. So as I mentioned before, having the events management students are actually taking some of the events we're running as part of their degree. We want the union to achieve Green Impact Goals. We'd like to see the hub become self-financing and able to secure further funding if needed. And we want to see greater collaboration because that's one area where there's a lot of really good work going on, but not a lot of connecting up and sort of sharing ideas. So that's another hope for 2015. So yeah, for more information, we do have a website, Facebook page and Twitter. We've also got a blog as well that we've joined up with the sustainability team. Thank you.
Hello. So I am Caroline from the Students Green Unit, and just want to start by saying hello from all of us here. So I'm going to start with our mission statement, which is just about emphasising the fact that we are sort of 5 full-time staff members, and we seek to promote student-led projects. So our projects are very much about student interests and using their passion and enthusiasm to push forward sustainability actions amongst the student population here. So there are 5 of us here, and just as in Greenwich and Maastricht, our strands focus on research, employability, education, operations, and community and student engagement or outreach. We work very closely together, and we feel that each of our strands it doesn't really work in isolation to have research working on their own, but instead we try and have a very open communication about what we're all up to. So in terms of looking at why we were established, we've spoken to our founder, and here are some of her ideas for what we're doing here. So initially we were set up to deliver a cohesive sustainability and environmental project. The idea behind this is that there are quite a lot of different things going on Exeter's campus, and we're trying to unite student ideas and to offer them support both from the Guild here, but also from the Sustainability Delivery Team at the University, who we work with very closely. We also seek to pursue the environmental agenda and address grand sustainability challenges of the day. This ties into the unique offer that we have here, which is that all students are offered a mentor. So each project utilises researchers from the university or professionals who have worked in their field for many years. And this means that we're not just a volunteering initiative, but that we actually offer students the opportunity to do something very cutting edge and unique. So since starting in October, we were given an opportunity to launch with a very high profile event here. We were given the target of 200 attendees, but we were very pleased to have more than that. It was great to see how many different interests in sustainability there were across our campus, and this enabled us to, in the long run, engage with over 3,000 students. This was in a variety of ways, but the key message that kept sort of coming out was that students were very interested in what we were doing, but they found it hard to vocalise their ideas and to turn them into a project. So out of this feedback, we decided to run a series of workshops. These were about bringing students together and enabling them to develop a project plan. And the kind of enthusiasm and ideas that came out of this made it much easier for us to approach academics for their support. So following on from this, we had a fairly rigorous application process, which led us to support 16 projects with funding from the NUS Green Fund, but also from our student union here. These projects are now in a kind of developmental stage, working closely with the sustainability team at the university, focusing on milestone planning, mapping stakeholders, and really making sure that the messages we're sending out are focused on longevity. So making sure that what we're doing now is quite careful in order to ensure strong support. We also work closely with the student union here, so going through their design team in order to make sure the logos are sort of embedded into what's already going on, and rather than being a side project, being right at the heart of the Guild's work. And as I said before, each student has support from an experienced mentor, and this is really important, as I will go on to speak. So looking at the year ahead, I've split this slide into 2 just for convenience in terms of the university and students, but there's really a very strong overlap between what we're doing, and that's, again, really important in helping students to feel that they're making a difference. So with the university, we're helping to push sustainability forward by working closely with the team there. This is important because it means that we can identify key areas of kind of where work needs to happen, or where students can kind of find the appropriate staff members to talk to, and this all leads into promoting Exeter as an eco-hub. The resources that we have here, the campus, the staff, the interests, the Met Office just down the road, these are all great factors in the work that we're doing. And this also means that we can contribute to ongoing sustainability strategies, making, once again, making this not just a volunteering project, but something more remarkable. In terms of our students, we push them forward to be change agents, facilitating positive behaviour change through peer-to-peer mentoring, the building of networks and education, and tying into this is the training opportunities that we can provide with the funding we have. For example, we were delighted recently to have Felix and a colleague from rootAbility come to visit us, once again promoting to our students the fact that this is an international collaboration, what we're doing here, and it's great to hear experience from other similar green models in higher education. Because of the project leader's mentor, we can also make sure that the project is kind of multifaceted and have an interdisciplinary approach. So governance, as with Greenwich, we have our steering board, and this is really important because it involves all of our key stakeholders. So by having sort of staff members represented from the university, the guild, NUS, as well as student representatives and academics, we are able to push this forward, making sure that projects are really kind of hitting a variety of targets, but also that together we're kind of able to solve any issues that might arise. And it's a very open working attitude, so everyone feels engaged, and we also feel that by working closely with these different staff members, we're becoming a more permanent fixture, and students feel that they are actively engaging with different institutions rather than working on something quite separate and quite student-focused. So in terms of projects, as I said, we have 16 projects, and this visual just gives some idea of the different areas that we're working in. As you can see, there are many different elements to the project, you know, from sort of water and food usage and electricity to looking more then at fashion and employability. And the idea is that many of these projects are using different tools to engage people, whether it's designing a website or an app for people's phones, whether it's an art exhibition. There are many ways for sustainability messages to be getting out there. And it's quite exciting actually to have so many different tools of engagement, but also to have feedback from academics on how we can improve these. For example, we have had an academic, Dr. Stuart Barr, who's been advising us on kind of how to advertise our projects, how to use social media, and different ways of marketing these projects, which has been really useful for our students, and also for us as a learning experience in terms of getting sustainability out there. Of course, there have been challenges, and we've found various different ways to overcome these. Enabling students to make a difference was a challenge that we faced quite early on. Many of our students, as I said, were interested, they wanted to be engaged, but they found it quite hard to know what had gone before them and what policy was happening, and I think they, in many ways, this was kind of holding them back. But through working closely with the university and Karen Gallagher, the sustainability manager there, we've managed to map out stakeholders with them and offered them the training they need in order to communicate effectively with these stakeholders. This has helped them to build confidence skills, helping them to feel that they know who to approach, how to approach, and what to ask. And also is a great way to encourage networking, which is crucial for these students as they go out into the wider world. As well as this, the academic guidance that we can offer them means that they're becoming real change agents and are developing in a way that's really exciting for us to see. We're also trying to reach out to traditionally unengaged students. So once we started here, after our launch, we went to a series of lectures, and this for us was important in engaging with students from different disciplines. So it's great now that we have project leaders from English, engineering, the business school, not just your traditional sort of geographers. We've also been utilising societies for tutors. So we're currently running events with the Film Society, and we're using the technical know-how of the Computer Science Society to also get our messages out there, which is a great way to engage with these students. So finally, looking forward, some key aims from our team. We really want to become a more household name across the campus. It would be great to develop a higher profile and to push forward more. We've had some success here, many successes here with support from the Vice Chancellor's executive group and various kind of key stakeholders. But really it's about the students, and on a large campus like ours, that continues to be something that we're working on. And this is also true of outreach in terms of the community and groups outside of the obvious university societies and things like that. Another big project we have going on at the moment is the formation of the Student Advisory Committee, which I know has been sort of trialled in Maastricht. For example, this kind of ties in with students wanting to input on sustainability strategies. So as I said, there are interested students, and it's about getting them together and helping them to vocalise their thoughts. Currently we have the Sustainability Advisory Group, which is a staff initiative, so we're hoping to form a sort of student counterpart which will work, and they will work together to compile a 2020 vision and to do a road mapping exercise in terms of how we're going to get there. But it's going to be very interesting to see a kind of more long-term strategy develop. And all this really contributes to creating an atmosphere in which students understand their contribution to sustainability. They appreciate that this isn't just a top-down action that happens without their voice, but is instead something far more collaborative and far more engaging for a larger group of students. So that's us for now, but thank you very much for listening, and looking forward to some questions afterwards.
Brilliant, thank you, Caroline. If nobody minds, I think now we're going to pass back over to Priyanka and allow her to finish the rest of her presentation.
So I left it off at continuity. So documentation is really important because for the next person who will be taking over the current project, it's very important for them to know what has been done and what they have to do. And also they can benefit from our learning if we document everything in a very good way. And we still have to do that because in the past we did not really do that as much as we would like to. And then the next point is to have a good support system. For example, we get the rootAbility coaching, and it's really nice to get advice and input from people with more experience. And in terms of communication, sometimes there are internal communication problems because we have to set guidelines on how to communicate. Should we email, should we Facebook, or how often and what kind of email should we send around, and what should be discussed with the team, and what should doesn't have to necessarily be discussed with the team. And then we also have the problem that every project coordinator is busy with their own project. So there is limited interaction and working together across portfolios. So we realized if one person has the overview of everything, it's really good and beneficial to seek out new opportunities. And the third point is about student community engagement, is to see how do we engage students and make them aware of our work. And since there are a lot of other things going on besides sustainability at the university, so we thought about using in a more effective way our social media and offline outreach, and then also to plan public relations campaign in a more effective way. And also not to forget to communicate our results, because we work, but sometimes we fail to communicate our results as we would like to the student community. And also, because there are so many different student organizations, to coordinate all the different sustainability efforts and to streamline them so we don't do the same thing twice. And also to inform students about how to get involved with us, where they can help, and they can only do that if they have all the correct updated information, if we can make it available to the community. I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and sorry about earlier, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you.
Brilliant, thank you, Priyanka, and thank you also to all of today's speakers. I think everyone will agree that that's a really beneficial webinar, and I hope everyone has managed to learn something from this. So now is your opportunity to ask any questions to our speakers. If you would like to ask a question, just let me know in the chat box and I can unmute you and you can ask away. Here we go. So we have a question from Isaac, if you'd like to ask a question.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So thank you for these three very interesting presentations. I'm a bit sort of astonished and shocked that all of this is going on around the world here. And I'm sitting in Uppsala, Sweden, where I work at a student-led Center for Environment and Development Studies, which has been around for about 20 years. So I'm really excited to hear how sort of student-led education, in a sense, is developing in different contexts in different ways. And I'm just wanted to share that I'm very happy to see this sort of energy around this question and this concept. So more or less, this is just a comment that I'd love to connect to you all three presenters, and continue a conversation around how our sort of distinct and different initiatives could interact in a meaningful way. And I really thank rootAbility as well for making this possible to have this webinar. So I'm a little bit, one question that I have, I guess, to all three of these initiatives is a little bit how you, because our initiative grew out of sort of an educational need that students identified in the early 90s. And then since then, we've sort of continued to be focused very much on education in itself and interdisciplinary education across all faculties and to all levels of education. And I'm wondering how your suggestions on how we could sort of start to work more with that sort of the general sustainability issues of the university and the university's role in that they have to play in terms of pushing sustainability forward and taking a lead in this issue, especially coming from sort of that we've mostly work with education and we have 700 or 800 students each year that we could really see as change agents as well, but we don't have the sort of the infrastructure or the resources at the moment to really see to make that happen. I mean, we have them as a part of our courses, and then they go off and go back to their own faculties or their own home universities. Very long. Yeah.
Thank you, Isaac. To any of our speakers, if you would like to answer the question, which would be great, you can unmute yourself if you'd like to do that.
Oh, sorry.
Do any of our speakers have an answer for Isaac?
Hi, from Exeter, we found, I think if I understood your question correctly, it's about the kind of curriculum and courses. We found that definitely students are interested in studying sustainability, especially amongst our project leaders. They're all aware of the opportunities, but it's really just about advertising them and being, for us, kind of clarifying confusion about how you can take those courses and things like that. I mean, Emma Hutchings is our education coordinator, and she's definitely received feedback from students that they are interested in these issues and they see them as important, and definitely kind of raising awareness about how these issues are relevant to being a graduate, going out into the world and finding jobs. These courses are have something to input into becoming an employee in the world. I hope that helps.
Thank you, Caroline. Yes, I'm sure that helps Isaac. Okay, moving on to our next question.
Yes, hello. My name is Vladislav. I'm a representative of the World Student Environmental Network. So rather from a student perspective, I would have one quick question to Caroline and then a more general one. I was interested in exactly what you mentioned about employment. And you mentioned one of the student-led projects about employability. And I would be interested about this and how engagement in these student initiatives could actually lead towards employment, like a more interesting employment horizon for students after their studies. And the more general question would be, you were talking about introducing sustainability into the curriculum. And I would be interested in knowing, like, if you were thinking about like optional courses or like compulsory courses to actually touch everyone on the campus, and how professors actually react to this, to the intrusion, if I may say, into their academic freedom. Thank you.
Hi, yeah, so I think in terms of firstly employability, our coordinator OJ is working very closely with the career zone that we have here. So that's very much about kind of creating a relationship with them in which we can encourage our students to receive certification for what they're doing in terms of volunteering and things like that. We already have a program here called the Extra Award, which I think a lot of universities have something similar, which is about students meeting certain sort of criteria in terms of hours of volunteering, attending workshops in which enables them to receive this award, which can then be put onto CVs and things like that. But many of our students are doing the things already with their project required to receive this certificate. So that's the kind of employability angle, as well as we have a project which is setting up a workshop, setting up a website advertising environmental internships for companies that are doing great work in the sustainability field. We've sort of received feedback from our students that many of them are interested in these issues. They want to go into the field of sustainability once they graduate, but they just don't know how to find these opportunities. And we are trying to kind of push them in the right direction or find ways for them to talk to the right people. And this is kind of where the networking issue comes in again. It's just about helping students to explore the world outside of our institution and to think about their futures. In terms of the curriculum, we have a great system at Exeter in terms of flexibility for what you study. So you can take credits in subjects, and this means that students can take sustainability-related modules. The business school, for example, has a lot of modules which focus on sustainability in business and things like that. So we're kind of able to advertise these opportunities. But it really is a case of the right publicity and the right communication with students to do this. But hopefully that all makes sense.
I have a few things to add as well. So in terms of kind of like getting it into the curriculum, what Greenwich University is doing, they're actually going to speak to some of the course leaders and actually, like almost sounds like a re-education, but letting them know actually how sustainability is relevant to their courses. So recently they've held open days with the health courses, so showing them actually like what the NHS are doing in terms of sustainability and how it is actually relevant to them. Another thing that we're doing is that we're linking in with the business school, so they have a volunteering passport course, as I mentioned before, so the students can actually register any hours that they volunteer with us to go onto that passport. When they get a certain number of hours recorded, it goes on their CV, they get it certified by the business school, and actually enables them to go to networking events too. The union has just set up their own volunteering toolkit, so that enables students beyond the business school to actually register their volunteering hours with the union specifically. And we're rewarding students at the end of that with a union award. And we're also looking, as I mentioned, to have our projects actually embedded into the curriculum. So we've been in contact with the events management course leaders about how we can get their students to run our sustainability show as one of their events. And in terms of training, we recently opened up our Green Impact Project Assistant training to other students, and that we got quite a few coming from the Green Society, which is part of the business school, really. So that's a good way of them actually getting some training that they can put on their CV. One thing that I think we do need to do more is actually get into lectures and start talking about the Sustainability Hub there to make sure that it's kind of getting communicated across all courses.
Brilliant. Thank you, Anna, and thank you, Caroline. Do you have anything to add? Sorry, did I interrupt there?
No, it's just one final thing as well. What we did do as well, we presented at the Business School Placement Fair. So they had a fair in November. So they had a number of graduate internship recruiters. and we actually had a stall there as well, and it was more popular than you would have thought it would be at the beginning, especially when you're kind of set up next to quite big international companies, but actually had quite a lot of students showing interest in sustainability.
Oh, wow. No, that sounds great. Thank you, Anna. Thank you for that. Okay, so next question is from Lyle.
Good morning, Anna, and to everyone else. I've been extremely interested in how the session has gone, especially hearing from a variety of presenters. I'm most interested in the roadblocks and maybe the unique challenges that our presenters have experienced, whether it be working with faculty, university administration, the community especially, because that's what I work with our youth. And if they have any comments on how they've been able to move this awareness to action, especially in their community, that's one of the areas I'm always interested in. Thank you.
Thank you, Lyle. Did any of our speakers like to answer that one, please?
Basically, for the community, the student community, it has always been very challenging because there is a lot of other things going on besides sustainability. So how do we get students to know that this is what's going on? We thought, okay, we have Facebook to reach the students. That worked out fine. But we also have to really go and approach them, talk to every student organization, see what they're doing, because not all information is available on their website. And their plans as well, to see what they want to do, how we can help them, and to see what's out there basically in the community. Yeah, so what we are doing for the next year is planning more like some monthly mingles or some get-togethers where we all interested people, they come and they talk to us and present their ideas or just have a normal discussion. So basically they can get engaged with us, and also we know what's out there.
Brilliant, thank you. Thank you for that. Do any of our other presenters have anything to add to Priyanka's answer there, or shall we move on to the next question? Okay, so Alex Metcalf, you're next if you'd like to ask your question. Can you hear us, Alex? Are you still there?
Hello?
Hello. Would you like to ask your question aloud? Because we can hear you.
Okay. I just wanted to ask, it's an open question really, how important do you think paid student positions are and the level of engagement they engender? I ask this in terms of involving students in designing how the sustainability agenda manifests in the university community, and in terms of balancing the students' degree work and the level of commitment they can sustain.
Okay, I will have a go at answering that one. I think having paid student staff is really, really important. Students, obviously, especially as undertaking a degree is getting more and more expensive, they are having to balance their university, their courses, with perhaps having a part-time job as well to help them get by. And if we want them to fully commit to some of the projects that we're running, like some of the projects we're going to need students actually in more than just a couple of hours a week. Paying them helps us to really achieve that. And it also, I think it gives that other level of responsibility as well. It means that they are committed to the project.
Thank you for that. Ragnar, do you have something to add to that answer?
I think Anna answered this question very well already, but I would like to add that it's, on the one hand, a necessity to ensure equal chances for students. Not just have the students who can afford to study and have the funds by themselves, but also other students who work in these kind of initiatives. And the other thing is that students are actually doing work here, and this is not some some student initiatives that's just for fun and in your hobby, but we actually aim to get real work done, and the quality of work is, in experience, so much better when people get paid. It doesn't have to be as much as a normal position, but it gives the student a sense of worth that is not there if the position is not paid. This is just our general experience that we've made in different universities.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that, Ragnar. I don't have any more questions come in. Oh, yeah, we do just have one come in then. But is payment not putting off some engaged students? Ragnar, I'm not sure if that's to you. Do you want to answer?
Could you specify that a little bit?
Yeah, sorry. I asked this question because it was based on my own university that actually paying some students was not providing a bigger incentive for them to engage, because the engaged students were already engaged spontaneously in the initiative, and the payment was actually bringing them closer to the university administration, which was exactly what they didn't want to, because they wanted to stay actually independent from the university administration, to be able to lead the project as they wanted.
I think then this question is directed towards where is actually the funding, the payment coming from. I think in terms of the Greenwich Sustainability Hub and the Green Unit, the funds are actually coming from the NUS and not from the university itself. So maybe this ensures the independence. On the other side, students are actually trying to change the university here, so being a little closer to the administration might actually help their work in that sense, and is not so close to student activism anymore. I do see that.
I couldn't really hear the question very clearly, but I'm just reading the question from the chat box, and correct me if I'm wrong or misunderstanding the question. But so when we did the recruitment process for the 6 green ambassadors who are employed and salaried members of staff, what we're looking at actually is how engaged they already were in sustainability too, in some respects. So what has actually happened is we've got a number of the green ambassadors who were already engaged in sustainability, running their own sustainability society or helping out in the community garden, for example, but they just wanted to take that up to another level. And actually the payment is helping them to do that, because then they're able to commit more time to it and use their experience to go a little bit further.
Brilliant, thank you, Anna, for that. Okay, we have one last question, just about got time for it, so we don't go over our hour, and it's from Mohammed. Mohammed, would you be happy to ask it aloud? I'm not too Hello, is that Mohammed?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hi, yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thanks for your presentation. It was really interesting, and I'm just wondering about, anyone can answer, how much of the authority they seem to have in their initiatives and student-led projects, because I can see there are lots of responsibilities. So how about the authority and how they can influence the wider university policy making, if they have any influence? Anna or Caroline, any of you can answer, please.
Can anyone answer that?
Basically, for Maastricht University Green Office, we are the sustainability department of the university, so we can actually influence the university. So, for example, we worked with other stakeholders to set the policy for the university sustainability. So we do have a say in it, at least for us. That's how it is.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you, Priyanka. Does anyone have, Caroline, do you have something to add to that?
I was going to say, for us, there are kind of two ways that students can actually influence policy. So Because we are sort of working in collaboration with the Students' Union here, the Guild, and they've actually contributed some funds to our team, we're able to use the channels that they provide, and Exeter is very keen to promote student voice. So they do actually have ways in which students can impact policy within the Guild. For example, a couple of years ago, they introduced a ban on Nestle products because of their sort of human rights track record, and we're able to kind of use those channels to encourage students to do similar things relating to ethical issues. In terms of affecting university policy, we always encourage our students to tread very carefully, and for us it's about who the key stakeholders are and having very open and honest conversations with them when the time is right. But I think all of our students are very understanding of the responsibilities they have, and because we have such a positive relationship with the sustainability team at the university, we are able to help students understand the policies that have gone before, the background, history, and the vision, which makes it much easier for students to be honest in what changes they want to see. So I feel that our students are in a very, they're in a position where they can impact, they can make change happen.
Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Thank you, Caroline. That's it. We're out of time now. Thank you, everyone, for taking part today. Especially thank you to our speakers for taking time out to talk to you. And, of course, thank you to our delegates who are attending from abroad. And I know the time zones are very different, so we do appreciate that. As I said, once the recording has finished uploading, it will be made available on the Sustainability Exchange, and I'll make sure to send you all an email to let you know how to get hold of that and who you can send the link on to, etc. Anyway, thank you very much, and that's all from me, and I'll see you on our next webinar. Thanks, everyone.